Well, good afternoon. Thank you for taking the time to chat with me about the Cultivating Conservation for Maryland and Delaware Small and Historically Underserved Farmers. We're really excited about this project. The goal of the project is to increase the awareness amongst these farmers of the various types of conservation programs, the process that's involved with participating in the programs, and then the role of the different agencies that provide the federal and of the federal agencies that provide the technical support and the financial assistance, rather. So why don't we just start off with you telling us a little bit about yourself, your background in agriculture, and the role that you have within NRCS.
Okay. Well, my name is Terron Hillsman. I'm the state conservationist for USDA NRCS in Maryland. I'm also responsible for the District of Columbia, and so there's one of me in every state in the country and the territories. And I've been with NRCS almost 30 years now, so I've been with NRCS quite a while. And I started out actually as a student trainee back in college during my undergraduate days at Tennessee State University, where I majored in agriculture. But I grew up on a small farm in West Tennessee. And so agriculture has always been in my family. My grandfather was a farmer. My dad is a farmer, and we still have our family farm in West Tennessee. And as I was going to school, there was an opportunity to become a student trainee for USDA NRCS, and it seemed like something that I really wanted to do. And so I got hired as a student trainee, and I've been on ever since about 1992. As state conservationist, I'm responsible for all of our programs, all of our operations for the state of Maryland and the District of Columbia. And, I've had a really great career, and we do a lot of great things, and it's great to work with producers. Again, farming has been in my family, so it's always great to have this opportunity to work and service the producers.
Can you tell me a little bit more about what NRCS does within the state of Maryland?
Sure. So we manage all of the conservation title of the Farm Bill. That's the primary thing that we do. So we provide conservation planning assistance, and we also have financial assistance programs that help producers implement those conservation plans. And so every farmer, just about all farmers that are engaged in production agriculture have a conservation plan, at least a base plan that addresses soil erosion on cropland at a minimum. But over the years, NRCS has been around for over 80 years, going on 90 years now. Since the Dust Bowl days, we've been working with producers to try to reduce soil erosion as the primary thing. But over that 80 years, we've really expanded that to look at the whole menu of things in terms of natural resource concerns on private lands, to include wildlife, forestry, water quality concerns, any resource concerns that can be addressed from a natural resource perspective.
Federal programs have a reputation of sometimes being a little complex to navigate.
They are.
So what advice would you give to small and or historically underserved farmers about initiating the working relationship with NRCS and how they can go about successfully incorporating conservation into their operations?
Yeah, well, I think your point is a good one. And federal programs, we have a lot of great programs and services to offer, Sarah. But honestly, our capacity to deliver a lot of these programs is somewhat limited, especially in some locations. And so what I always tell producers, is, especially new farmers, new and beginning farmers, or historically underserved farmers, is that the number one thing is to have patience with the process. It is a process to engage in our programs. We have a lot of things that can help you on the farm, but it's steps, and it's many steps to kind of get you involved in the system. The other thing that I would say is that to have in mind sort of what the goals are for your property, both all short, mid, and long-term goals. So it's always helpful for us when we come out to assist you if you already kind of have some ideas about what you want to do and some of your goals for your property. So that's always helpful.
How has NRCS evolved the way in which they work with farmers, especially small and historically underserved farmers?
Well, when you think about the trends in agriculture and the trends in farming, they've changed over the last 20, 30 years, especially pretty starkly, in fact, in the last 20 or 30 years, where we see consolidation of big farms in certain industries like dairy and poultry. Some of the mid-size or smaller farms are consolidating into much bigger farms. But then you also see some of those same mid-scale farms splitting up and becoming a lot of small-scale farming. Another advent in agriculture in the last 10 years, especially, has been urban agriculture. And so that's a place where we see a lot of people having an interest in trying to address food deserts in some of our metro areas. People that just wants to be able to produce, grow, and have and maintain their own food sources. And so there's a lot of interest, and because of that, we have had to become a lot more diverse in terms of the things that we're able to do and the services and the assistance that we're able to provide. So, producers through our soil conservation districts have made our partners, the districts themselves, aware of some of these kinds of things that they need assistance with, and we've tried to be responsive to that.
Last question. So farmers face many challenges, just trying to remain profitable in some situations. So why should they prioritize conservation?
That's a really good question. I think sometimes we think about conservation and putting in conservation practices, and sometimes landowners and producers think of it sort of as an extra cost. Or something that's over and above the cost of doing business and just trying to stay profitable. I think what I always share with our staff and also with producers that I talk to about the importance of conservation is that really, at the end of the day, conservation makes it possible to sustain profitability. When you think about it, the more that we're able to conserve the soil, the more that we're able to enhance the resource base out there on the ground. It enhances for the short term, mid-term, and long-term sustainable profitability on the farm. So conservation, in a lot of ways, should perhaps come first, and ensuring that that profitability is going to be able to be there for the long term.
Great. That's all the questions I had for you. Do you have anything else? Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, other than to say that, we stand ready and prepared to provide assistance to producers who are interested in our, our services and our financial assistance programs. The main thing is to make sure that you contact our local field offices and establish those relationships with our employees that work in every county in the state of Maryland has a service center. With staff there that are ready and willing and able to provide assistance. And again, it's just a matter of making that contact, developing those relationships. Our folks are out there and ready and willing to help and assist. And certainly, we encourage folks to look into what programs we have available and reach out to our local office to get assistance.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Hillsman, for your time. I appreciate that.
Thank you guys for all the partnership and all the work you're doing at the University of Maryland.